So obviously a follow-up to 2012's The Avengers, or Avengers Assemble, wherever you live. It had a different name. The main cast are back from the first film, along with director Joss Whedon, and we also get a few new additions, which all in all makes a gigantic cast. The basic premise is you've got Tony Stark and Bruce Banner making or creating an AI to protect the world in the absence of the Avengers. Obviously it all goes wrong, and Ultron is born, wants to take over the world, and has his pals Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver to help him with that. So sounds a bit cliched, but it's actually a lot more than just that. There's so much going on. I'm going to try and keep this as spoiler free. Well, no, I will keep this spoiler free, just in case you haven't seen it. I loved the tone. I thought it was just such a good balance. It was dark, but it was funny. The film itself gallivants across the world, which was a nice change from the first film, which was just set in New York. The characters are still incredible. You get a lot of backstory and a lot of screen time for some characters that may have been forgotten in the past films. Mainly Hawkeye, who stands out in this. You actually get to see parts of his life, and he's not a zombie for half the film, which is always good. And who would have thought he's actually cool? Black Widow also got some additional screen time this time round. Maybe not more screen time, because she's had quite a lot of screen time already, but just a bit of fleshed out backstory. All I want to do is just talk about the characters that you don't know, the new characters. So you've got Ultron, obviously, who, does kind of, he's born quite quickly. You don't get much of a story there. He's just suddenly born, he's evil, wants to destroy the world. But he's a really good character. The effects on him are incredible, and James Spader just blew my mind. The other two additions, you've got Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Quicksilver, no, he's not as cool as X-Men Days of Future Past, but I think they had a challenge to try and surpass that, so they've done alright with him. He's kind of a bit in the back, doesn't really have all that much to do, but Scarlet Witch completely just takes over the film for me. A lot of people have been saying that she is a bit naff, but I think she's the true catalyst for the film. Her powers are awesome, and it's a gateway into the magic side of things, which we might see later on, or we will see later on with Doctor Strange. The costumes for the new characters were awesome. Scarlet Witch, I'm quite glad they didn't go with the comic book costumes, because it's a bit unrealistic and quite revealing. I think my favourite new character, who I won't talk much about because he's been kind of hidden away with the trailers and everything else, was Vision. I knew bits and bobs about him before from the comics, but in the film he was just awesome. What I didn't like so much was that there was a lot of setup for future films. Mainly Thor's side of things were just set up. A little bit pointless, didn't really make much sense to me. Obviously we've got Thor Ragnarok coming out sometime in the future, a few years, a couple of years, and I just thought it was a bit pointless there. The film kind of speeds through everything. It moves so quickly, you don't really get much of a breather, which is a good thing because you're never bored, but it's also a bad thing because there's so much more that they could have added in there, and with Joss Whedon saying that his first cut was 3.5 hours, I kind of want to see what they cut, because there might have been some pretty important stuff that they cut out just to try and cut it down. But one thing that I haven't said is that it's fun. It's so much fun. It's exhilarating to watch. It's just so much fun. I loved seeing it. No matter what I say bad about it, I absolutely loved it, and I think Marvel's doing a fantastic job. I love Marvel, I have done since I was a kid, and the film is just so much fun. I'm definitely going to go and see it again. I'm going to go and get the Blu-ray as soon as it comes out. Yeah, there's not much more to say, but ultimately I urge you to go and see it. If you haven't seen it, go and see it. If you have seen it, go and see it again. I think it's something that everyone can enjoy. There is something in there for everyone. So I'm going to give Avengers Age of Ultron a 9 out of 10 for pure awesomeness. It was so much fun, there's so much good, the action sequences are incredible, the direction and just how coherent the whole film is just mind-blowing, mind-boggling. Thanks for watching my first review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want a more in-depth review, you can check out my blog, which I will link below. And if you like this review, remember to subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching. Kapow.